This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
The idea is to get the presidential candidates to talk about real health care reform.
Why Nevada is at the top of the list to help launch that discussion in our Channel 2 News Big Story at 5:30. Well, chronic disease is a huge part of the rising cost of health care in this country, no doubt about that. And in an effort to get it under control, a group called the Partnership to Fight Chronic Disease is focusing on a few states. Good evening, I'm Kristen Remington.
I'm Wendy DeMonte. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Nevada is one of those states because we have something a lot of other states do not have right now: presidential candidates. Erin Breen explains.
Being a swing state for the presidential election gives us some opportunities other states don't have. We're seeing the presidential candidates in person. Heck, we've seen most of them here already, and many of them more than once. And we're still a year from the election. The Partnership to Fight Chronic Disease says that 86% of the money spent on health care in this country is spent on people with chronic conditions, which in some cases are preventable. So while the candidates are trying to get our attention, this group is trying to get theirs.
The campaign and the fact that they're coming to Nevada among a handful of states is a great opportunity for our state to elevate that discussion, and reform won't happen until we have that discussion first.
To get their concerns before the candidates, they're launching their own campaign on the airwaves, and they'll be airing those ads during the Democratic debate in Las Vegas.
Chronic diseases like diabetes,
asthma,
and heart disease
are the number one cause of death,
disability,
and rising healthcare costs
in the United States.
Iowa, New Hampshire, and now Nevada are the first three markets for the group because we're swing states, and we'll be the first to cast ballots for primaries and caucuses come the first of the year.
And the idea is to get the presidential candidates to talk about real health care reform. Most of the growth in spending is due to the fact that we have more patients that have a chronic condition, like diabetes and high blood pressure. So unless we really have we think a fundamental restructuring of our prevention system and how we care and deliver healthcare services, we're really going to fall short in our ability to control the growth in healthcare spending.
They feel more work upstream to prevent chronic diseases is what will ultimately bring healthcare costs down, save money, and most importantly, save lives. Covering the big story, Erin Breen, Channel 2 News.
As the Democratic presidential candidates prepare to debate in Las Vegas tomorrow night, a new poll shows Hillary Clinton clearly ahead here in the Silver State. The CNN ORC poll found that if the Democratic caucus were held today, half of those polled would support Clinton, while 34% support Bernie Sanders and 12% say they would support a theoretical run by Vice President Joe Biden, with the other candidates really getting no measurable support. Now, if Biden is removed from that field, Clinton gets 58% right now of support, while support for Sanders grows to 36%, and Martin O'Malley gets 3%. And we will have a crew in Las Vegas covering tomorrow night's debate. So please stay with Channel 2 News for Campaign 2016 continuing coverage.